Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Wreaths and Things. You all know I love to experiment with wreaths, colors, textures, unconventional materials, whatever it is, I'll dive into it and I'll see if it works. Last year I tried a particular color that I don't really dabble too much in. Hint, 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 for Halloween. And this year I'm going to do the same color, hint, 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 for Christmas. So today's wreath, we're going to dabble right into the color pink for Christmas using 14-inch wire wreath frame, 10.5-inch deco mesh, and we're going to do the pancake method today. So let's get that pink on. Why don't I just get started and I'll show you what I made. Today I am using a 14-inch wire wreath frame, some pink 10-inch by 10-yard deco mesh. I'm only going to use the light color pink today. This really cute 8-inch Santa sign. I have some lollipops that I got as well, and these little bendable, I don't know what you would call them, little twisties I guess. A whole bunch of 2.5 and 1.5-inch wired ribbon in pink theme, some coordinating pipe cleaners, and of course, as always, my regular crafting utensils to create our beautiful pink wreath today. And here is the materials that I used to create it. Starting off, we're going to make our working wire wreath frame, and this is my 14-inch wire wreath frame. You can see it has 4 wires going all the way around and then those crossbars as well. I'm going to work on the 2 inside wires in between those 2 anchors, so that one section right there. I'm going to start with my first pipe cleaner stem right in the middle of those 2 inside wires. So I'm just going to wrap that right around the inside, and then of course I'm going to do that again and again for all 6 of those sections. Once that's all done, we're going to work on the outside. Now I'm going to be using the 2 inside wires and that crossbar for our outside round of our pancake wreath. So I'm just feeding through our pipe cleaner, making sure those 2 wires and the cross wire are in between the pipe cleaners. And then I'm just going to twist it about 3 or 4 times. And then I'm just going to lay that flat. And I'm going to continue on doing that same method all around 6 times. So we have, when we're done, we have 6 stems on the inside, which is our inside round, and then we're going to have 6 stems on the outside, and that's a total of 12 working stems for our pancake wreath today. And for our deco mesh cuts, I'm using my cutting board, and I'm also using a rotary cutter. If you only have a pair of scissors and a ruler, that works totally fine as well. And our magic number today is 30. So we are cutting our deco mesh today at the 30-inch mark. I'm just going to take that rotary cutter, measure out my 30 inches, and then put them all off to the side. And like I said, I'm only going to be using that pink, light pink deco mesh. For our ribbon, I'm going to cut at 13 inches, and I have this white polka dot and pink ribbon. This is 2.5-inch wired ribbon cut at 13 inches. I also have this red, white, and polka dot ribbon. We're going to cut that. There's 1.5-inch burlap pink ribbon cut at as well, and this kind of white checked ribbon with pink and white. Now for our deco mesh cut lengths, I'm going to be doing 12 pieces cut at 30-inch lengths. For our ribbon, I am going to be doing 1, 2, 3, and 4 different kinds of ribbon, all cut 6 pieces at 13 inches to create our wreath. Now these ribbon lengths do not include the bow. I'll bring those in later on. Once we've cut everything, I'm going to dovetail the ends of my ribbon, folding it in half, cutting on an angle, and finishing both ends. Now we can create our beautiful pancake for our pancake method. I'm going to do this curl side down. I usually use my little decorative rock here to hold it down. I just showed you can use scissors if you want. And what I'm going to do is the cut end, I'm just going to fold it under just a little bit, just to kind of hide it a little bit. I'm going to level it off or flatten it out with my fingers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to anchor my thumbs, and I'm going to gather that all together with my fingers. So I'm going to do the whole length of this the same method. So as always, I love to say, let those fingers do the walking. And when we come to the other cut end, I'm just going to use my fingers, fold it under like like we did right at the beginning. And then I'm just going to make sure I have my center, and then I'm going to open up our first pipe cleaner stem. So I am working on the outside ones first, and then I'm just going to place the middle of our bundle right in between those two pipe cleaner stems, twist it a couple of times, and then for the pancake method, I'm just going to take the ends and overlap them a couple of inches, 2 or 3 inches, and that's going to create that beautiful round ruffle shape, otherwise known as the pancake method. So again, we're taking our deco mesh, curl side facing down, gathering it together all right in the center. Once we have it all together, I'm just going to pinch that center, open up our next available pipe cleaner stem, place the middle of our bundle right in between, twist it a couple of times, making sure it's nice and secure, and then we're going to overlap the two ends about 2 or 3 inches, again, to create that beautiful ruffle circular pancake bundle. I'm going to finish off doing that outside round, so that's 6 on the outside, doing the exact same method that we've been working on, attaching it onto those stems, and then working on the next one. Then I'm going to bring out the ribbon that I've already cut. You can see the first round is all done, and I'm going to use one 2.5 inch ribbon and one 1.5 inch ribbon per stem. So I'm going to grab my polka dot one, and I'm going to grab my kind of a checkered looking one, overlap it, fold it in half to find my center, gather it together using my fingers, and then I'm going to create a V shape, bending it, and then just pinching right at the end, and that's going to create a little bit of a fan effect. And then that denotes where the middle is, so you know where to place that right in between your pipe cleaner stem. Twisting it a couple of times. Once that's all nice and secure, grab your scissors, and then you can just cut off the excess of that pipe cleaner, and then just a little bit that's exposed, you can just bend it down like I'm showing you here. And of course, I love to fluff my ribbon, so we're going to fluff the ribbon just a little bit. And then I'm going to continue on doing the same method using one 2.5 inch ribbon and one 1.5 inch ribbon per bundle. Now I'm alternating between 4 different kinds of ribbon. If you only want to use 2 different kinds of ribbon, that's totally up to you. If you want to use 2.5 only or 1.5 inch ribbon only, you can totally do that as well. So once I'm done my first round, I'm going to fluff it up a little bit, but you can kind of see where we're going already. And now it's time for us to work in the center, which is that inside round. And we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to find my stem, open it up a bit, grab my deco mesh, curl side down, anchor it down, fold it right at the end, and then we're going to anchor those thumbs, and then we're going to gather it together with our fingers, creating that beautiful pancake method. Grabbing it right in the middle, and then we're going to place that middle right on that pipe cleaner stem, and this is the inside that we're working on now. People have asked why I do outside and then the inside. For this particular method, I want the inside deco mesh and ribbon to overlay the outside. So that's why I'm working from outside to the inside on this particular pancake method, just so we can have that overlay and that look that I really want. And then once I'm finished with my deco mesh in the first round, we're going to do the exact same thing we did on the outside to the ribbon on the inside. Again, I'm alternating between different patterns. I'm within the same pink color, so I'm happy with that, and I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. I'm very surprised I like it as much as I do, because I didn't think I was going to like the pink for Christmas, but here we go, and it's all ready for our final touches. And what are our final touches? Well, we're going to create a beautiful bow today, so this white polka dotted pink ribbon, I am going to do 2 cuts at 24 inches and then another one at 22 inches. This striped ribbon, I'm going to do the same thing. With this pink ribbon, I'm going to do an 18-inch cut and a 20-inch cut. And for our last ribbon, I'm going to do a 16 and a 20-inch cut as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tails out, which are the 20 inches and the 22 inches, and then I'm going to dovetail both ends. So again, folding it in half, and then cutting on an angle to create those finishing touches on both sides of the deco mesh, of the ribbon. Those will be the tails. For all of the other ribbon, I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue on the end, fold it over and create a little disc shape, if you will. And now it's time to assemble our bow. So I'm taking our largest piece first, and then I'm just going to overlap them with the seam in the center, in the middle, facing down. So you can kind of see here what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to add just a very small amount of hot glue. This just helps keep it together while you're working on the bow. I like to do this sometimes as a little tip, I guess, if you will, or trick if you want, to creating your bows, but I like to do it not too much. And then, of course, we just overlap all of those little bundles that we have. And for the very last one, I'm going to measure out 10 inches for a tail, 6 inches for 3 loops, gathering it together and meeting it all into my left hand, and 6 inches for those tails. Measure out another 10 inches for our tail. Add that full pipe cleaner, wrap it around the center. I'm going to fluff it up just a little bit, twist it to make sure it's nice and secure, and then I'm going to overlap the ribbon, fold it in half, cut on an angle to create our beautiful dovetails. Now for this, ribbon number 1, I'm doing 22 inches and 2 cut at 24. Ribbon number 2, 1 at 22, 1 at 24. Ribbon number 3, 1 at 18 and 1 at 20. Ribbon number 4, 1 at 16, 1 at 20, and the tails I am doing 6 loops, and I'm going to do 10-inch tails for that. And now I want to put it all together, so I'm getting all my ribbon for the tails together, overlapping them, gathering them in the center, and then folding it in half like we did previously to create that beautiful fan effect. And I'm just going to pinch the center so I know where it is. Then I'm going to place a cable tie on the bundle we created with the good side facing down. I use my ruler sometimes just to make sure I've got the center properly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the tails, and then I'm going to add a full-length pipe cleaner right in the center, squish that all together, and then put together that cable tie. And I'm going to make sure before I pull it tight that I have my center. It's off just a little bit, but I'm going to fix that, and then I'm going to pull it really tight and cut the excess off. Now it's time to add our final piece of our bow right in the center with those pipe cleaner stems. Bring those around the back, twist tie them right into place, give them a really good couple of twists so they don't go anywhere, and cut the excess off of that pipe cleaner and not the one we're attaching to our wreath frame. And of course, it's fluffing time. We all love it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm addicted to it. So we're going to fluff up this beautiful pink bow, and when it's all fluffed up, look at that. I was so loving this bow. Now I'm just going to cut those little stems of our lollipops. These are kind of a fabric, so they're kind of really cute. And then with the sign, I'm just going to take full-length pipe cleaner stems. There's 2 holes, one at the top, one at the bottom. I'm going to attach those on there, and then I'm going to glue on those little lollipops right at the back of our sign. So I'm just using some hot glue to glue it all down and make sure that it's nice and secure, just to add a little bit of oomph on there, if you will. Then I'm going to use those little twisties we saw right in the beginning with a highlighter, twist it around, and that's going to create our little squiggles, if you will. Twisties, squigglies, whatever you want to call them. Just our little decorative pieces that we're going to attach with the finishing touches of our wreath. Then to attach our sign, I'm just going to feed the pipe cleaners right through the back. Find out where the center is, where I want that sign to be placed. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to twist it nice and securely right at the back, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. And for the bow as well. Just feed that pipe cleaner right through the back, find out where you want it to put it, twist tie it right around the back, cut the excess off, and then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and just glue those 3 pipe cleaners in place so they don't come apart in the end. And now it's time to add our little squigglies on there. I didn't like the wires on there. I placed one and it didn't really work very well, so I thought I'm just going to cut the wire off and glue those right into place. These little squigglies I got on Temu, along with the little lollipop and the sign as well. And now, of course, we're done with everything. All our finishing touches are on there. What's left to do? Fluff. So once I finish fluffing, we have our happy smiling Santa right in the center and our pink themed Christmas wreath all ready for my front door. And I have to say, I am totally convinced pink is great for Christmas, for a girl's room. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love how it turned out. Originally, I was very doubtful, I'm not gonna lie, but I think in the end, this pink color won me over for Christmas, and that's Smiley Santa, obviously. Just cute as a button. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching while I created this pink-themed Christmas wreath. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new project. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.